let's just start since it's 10:12 already. And I hope you read the teaching manual. Did you? Or do we have to go over like one by one?
I
Um,
browsed through it.
that's still fine, right? Okay. Um, I'm just gonna go over the material first, and if that doesn't take a lot of time, we're gonna go over the teaching strategy also that we had, which was 3.2. Know when and how to move on. So that's more of the time management wise. So we can go over that if we have some time, but I would still want you to know how to do these materials. All right, so this next week actually is about the animal mix, and it will be fun. I find it kind of fun. I'm not sure you did, Randy. Um, and I think your student will gonna have a lot of fun with it because they can put their opinions about it. So whenever there's a chance for them to participate in something, go for it. All right. So part one, warm up. That one you had to come up with some kind of activity. Do you have any idea?
Sorry, I forgot to mute myself. I was just reacting to Randy's thing. But I was just gonna revisit 2048 just because um I I think M2 liked it. If not, then I was just gonna discuss it with the other M2 uh mentors and see what they would like to do.
Can you explain me what you did?
Oh, 2048. So it's this game.
Mm-hmm.
I could bring it up real quick.
I like that game actually.
Oh, you do, you do? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Okay, so 2048 is this game where the objective is to add same numbers to get to the number 2048, and you have to use your keys on the keyboard, uh your the up, left, down, and right keys on your keyboard to combine them. And you have to like really strategize to make sure that you could still have moves.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it? Oh, it really helps with like mental math for these really big numbers, like really good with sums and everything. So
Can
yeah.
you do a 2-minute demo, David?
Yeah.
Anybody interested in a 2-minute demo? Because maybe everybody will want to use it.
Mm-hmm. I also want to know how did you share it with the students? Did you all as a team played it, or did individual students played it and share the result?
What we did was I shared the screen and then Miriam was can you give me host?
Oh, sure. I'll
Yeah,
make you a co-host. If
thank
I
you.
can find my cursor. There we go.
So yeah, Miriam was speaking the whole like during this activity, and then I was the person to control the game while sharing my screen. And then we made like an order of people, like we made like a line, and then those people, whoever's turn was it, would tell me what direction to move.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so then we just played for um 10 minutes. Once you reach the 9-minute mark, we were just like, if you want to try this game like on your own time, then you can, and then just practice this game, and then you can tell us if you reach 2048 or not. And then yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah.
So did okay. One of my concern is did anyone blame anyone?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Well, may not out loud, so or in chat.
Because whenever I play it, if I make a mistake, I'm like, I shouldn't done that. That's
Yeah, yeah,
what I do always.
yeah. But basically, yeah. So let's say I go down, right? Um, for the people who have never played this game before, it moves every tile downwards. So you saw how the two and twos combined. Right now, there's nothing to combine because none of the numbers are the same. So then you just move any direction. Let's say I just move to the right. Oh, hello. Yeah. I move to the right. So now you see that the 2s and 2s could go together, but you need to move the tiles or arrange them in a way that you could move them together. So the 2s and 2s, I would move every tile to the right just so that I can combine them. And then you see here, I could go down, and then the 4s and 4s now could be put together. So then you put the 4s together. And then the 2s again. And yeah, just keep repeating this like sequence. Just move it around just until you could combine numbers again. What would you call them? Adjacent uh numbers. And then yeah. A good strategy I found was to put the biggest numbers in the corner. If you ever wanted to try this on your own time. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I messed up right there. So let's not share this anymore.
But still fun.
Yeah.
How did you how long did it take to finish this activity?
It only took, because we timed it, it only
Mhm.
took like 10 minutes tops, because we wanted to make sure that we had time for all the activities, or at least like the most important ones.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright, and I wanna also explain. This is what Andres gave us. How to design warming up activity. And I think you can read everything, but I think one thing that is really, really important is this part, the test part. Because you can set up everything that you want, but sometimes it will not work as you planned. So it's really, really important for you to plan it and test it and see how it runs. And in that case, you can always time your activity and see if that meets like 10 to 15 minutes slot. And I always kind of aware of the fact that on the online setting, it takes more time than we thought. So that's the one thing that we have to be careful with. And if you have any more great thoughts, please share it on the Slack so everyone can copy yours. All right, so let's go to the main activity. This is the animal mix, the zoo part that Randy just showed. So let's think about these questions. Order this from the smallest to largest. How can we, how do you think about it if you have to number 1 through 6? It might be it might be takes a while for the students who only interact with the students. So I'm gonna interact with the chat. So I'm gonna just label it like A, B, C, D, E, F, and let's order it from the smallest to largest. If you know the answer already, pretend you don't know it. All right, I'm gonna give like yeah, I use my tablet. I'm gonna share how to do it later if I have time to make a video out of it. All right, and I will count like 30 seconds and let's put the answer, our guess, on the chat all together. Cool. Yep, I got the 30 seconds right now, and let's put it on the chat. B, A, D, F, C, E. David said, Melissa said A is the smallest, the number of the countries in the world. And Randy also said that the number of movies featuring, I'm not sure who that is. That's the one big thing. I was like, who is that? Is he famous or is he like the superstar who showed like a lot of movies?
Me
That
too.
was
I was like, I don't know
incredibly
who he is.
concerned. Uh-huh. And I got E or C in the largest one. Arturo has A as the largest number. Okay. Right, Melissa. How many like in your thought, how many countries do we have in the world?
I realized I put that one in the wrong order, but yeah, it was supposed to be VA, but it's okay.
Okay, but
But I know there's like 150-ish, maybe I want to say.
150-ish, okay. I'll say this is for Melissa. All right, Arturo, you said F is the smallest number. How many animals does the San Diego Safari Park has?
Oh wait, I read that wrong. Um, but I want to say maybe like 50.
50, okay.
Yeah.
And David, you said D in the middle. How many people will be in the Hollywood Bowl? Hollywood Bowl, you think?
Like 10,000.
10,000? Okay. So this is really interesting because um we all have all different answers and we can share the answer in the fun way. How can we do that? Do you have any thoughts about this? How to make this really interesting
We could look it up together maybe or
together? Like
like that.
how many people are living in the Santa Ana?
Yeah.
Okay. What I also thought is that we can ask the students to research it. So I can assign like one student to Google how many countries in the world, how many movies are doing that person is doing, those kind of thing. So I'm gonna say, Melissa, please check if your guess is right for the how many countries in the world. And Arturo, can you check how many animals in the safari park? And David, please check how many people can fit in the Hollywood Bowl. And Randy has that IMDb link, so maybe we can look that up. And Evelyn, can you check how many words in the Spanish language is it possible to find it? I'm not sure.
Do you want us to put it in the chat or just
Yes,
have
in
it
the
ready?
chat, please.
Okay.
So Melissa just Googled it and she said 195 countries. And David said 17,500 people. More than you thought, it's almost double. And Arturo says 2,600 animals. That's a lot. And Evelyn says 90,000 words in Spanish. Was it kind of fun for you to search up those information and try to like see if you're right or wrong? So it might be a way to make the students engage and say like, hey, you can look it up and it's your turn to research it. And we have an answer right here. So this was the right answer is B, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, yeah. F, D, C, and E. Was it kind of interesting? I mean, I didn't know there's a lot of animals in the park. I thought it was like hundreds, but we have more.
Yeah, I thought there was more Spanish, no more words in Spanish than the people in Santa Ana. So that's cool.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Okay, so I found out that the English language has 171,476 words.
Oh, so it
That's
has
like,
more than the Spanish word.
yeah, yeah,
That's why it was so hard to learn English, I guess.
yeah. And apparently Chinese only has 85,568.
That's weird.
Interesting. I thought it was it
I
was
thought they
way
had
more.
more. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
well,
hard.
Yeah.
that's interesting. Thank you for the fun fact. And we're gonna ask like which of these is closest to the number of the animal combination in zoo mix, but I think it's like kind of weird, so we have to go over the zoo mix first, I think. So you might before this activity, you wanna go over that okay, this Zoom is blocked me here. We need to go over this weird combination animal mixing thing first. All right. Did anyone explore this website before? Then I can explain it. All right. So what this is you can just mix it up some animals and um create some creature. And I actually I'm not sure if I like this or not because sometimes it's kind of uncomfortable to see those like mixed creatures, but it was fun. All right. So we have 18 plus 6, 24, and 24 plus 4, 28 heads we can choose from. So, Melissa, give me one animal you like. I'm not sure if you can see everything. I hope I can expand this.
Yeah, I can see. Um, I'm gonna go with a bunny just because I think it'll look funny.
All right, so it says snowshoe. How do I pronounce it?
Hair,
Hare. Okay. I think that's like the
the name.
rabbit in the wild, I think, right? All right, we can select the legs. Arturo, can you please give me one animal that you wanna mix?
I'm a big fan of cats, so anything
Cats.
cat related on there. Let's see.
Cat. Here.
Yeah.
It says cat. All right. So we can check that there's 24 um animals that we can choose for the legs. And for the tails, it's kind of hard to say which one is which tail. So, but David, can you tell me where do you wanna what tail do you wanna use?
Can we have an elephant tail, please?
Elephant tail?
Let me just mention that you do part one before you do the survey. This
Okay,
way-
got it.
So this way you'll know how many heads, legs, and tails before you go into the survey.
Sounds good. Okay. So you had to explore this website before we go into the survey. Okay. Right. So here's our creature. And note that we had a lot of do we have the same number of the selection on the heads, legs, and tails? No, David said. And Melissa's nodding. I mean not nodding, it's like shaking her head. And let's count it all together because we need to figure out how many combination in the later. So you might want to incorporate that in this activity. So um um so your students is not questioning like where did those number came from, and you don't want to go back and forth from the manual and the website because sometimes it just like makes your computer work harder. All right,
Okay,
so how many
Jen, let me just mention,
sure,
when
yes.
when you do the intro, just ask them, how many heads? How do you know? How many tails? How many legs? But don't go into how many combinations. You'll do that later. Just have those numbers floating in their head before they do the survey.
Sounds
Okay.
good. So we are not asking them about the combination yet, but we're just making sure that they know there were this much of the selections for the heads, legs, and tails. So how many heads did we have? So 6 in a one row. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 6 plus 4. 28 heads. I really like when we have something on a chat because I can easily go back and check. Okay, so it's just one tip that you can use. How many legs do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Six times. Okay, David says 24 legs. And lastly, the tails. Where did my cursor go? Right here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows plus 1. 25 tails sounds good. And you also want to make sure that your students are having fun with, so you can actually share this website for them to explore and maybe let them share their creatures. And there's something that we can go back and forth with the base of the animals. So we have bison, we have cheetah, we have a dog. I love dogs. And we have elephant, and you can just mix it up. Just have a lot of fun with it, but make sure you watch the time for it because we have something more to do. But if your students having fun with it, let them have fun. I think it will be really fun to have everyone make their own combination and then share it. Yes, I love that. Because then do not stop there. When they share it, you might want to ask like, why did you choose that head? Why did you choose that tail? Do you like this animal? Do you like that animal? Those kind of thing. Also, one more fun thing is whenever you have something, some animal you do not know, you might want to click on the name over here. Then they're gonna lead you to the information chart, which might be interesting for those of the animal lover students and maybe you. It was kind of fun for me to read all these information, so go for it. I am like still kind of curious why this animal has spider in its name. It's a monkey, but spider. Okay. All right. Anyways, you do this, and we go to the survey that I mistaken I did it by mistake, and we're gonna say which of these is the closest number of the animal combination in the ZooMix. But Randy, do you think it's okay for us to go over the number of the combination right after this, or should we hold the thoughts? Should we like let them guess?
Yeah, I would have them guess and then continue with the work because eventually they'll see how to do it.
So since they may know but may not know, let them guess, and we can. Since we know how to do the numbers, it's kind of hard for us to guess the number, but I think it will be also fun for the students if we have to like we did on the last time. give them like 30 seconds and type the number that they think how many combination are there, and compare that with the other students.
Well, they're really asking which number is closest,
Mm-hmm.
so you can just ask to have them put that into the chat.
Oh, that's also possible. Not the numbers, but the selection over
Right.
here. Answer choices.
Yeah.
All right. So we are gonna get there somehow, but we're making this question simpler first. So the first question is, if we only had 2 options for the heads, 3 options for the leg, and 2 options for the tail, how many animal could we make? Draw a tree to explain your answer, and how do you read this tree? So there's a lot of part in here. I would suggest to go for the tree diagram first, since we already did the tree diagram last time. We can ask the students to draw the tree diagram, or at least to start it. So, Evelyn, how would you start your tree diagram?
I would the legs,
Legs. So how many branches should I
3
draw?
branches.
3. Okay. So this is for legs. Legs. All right. I'm gonna say A, B, and C. And Melissa, what do you wanna go for next?
Say the heads.
Heads. Okay. And what do I do with the tree?
You need 2 branches for the head.
Okay. Like this.
For each one.
For each one. Like this.
Yes.
Okay. Head 1, head 2, head 1, head 2, head 1, and head 2. And lastly, Arturo. What do I do with the tails then?
You're gonna put 2 branches on each one of the H1 and H2, right?
Okay. Do I have to put the branch on the head number 2 too?
Yes.
Okay. So how many in total that we have, David?
Sorry.
How many
12 total combinations.
12, okay.
Yes.
How did you count it? You just counted it? Like how many end branches are there?
Yes.
Okay. Is there Okay, so I was kind of wondering if I were if I were our Evelyn, I would start with the head first because it was on the top of the list. Will that make a difference if I start with the head?
No,
Why not?
because you're not changing the amounts in each category. You're just changing the order. And in this
Okay.
case, the order doesn't matter.
But I'm starting with the 2 branches if I start with the head. Okay, Randy suggests that we can start another tree diagram to see if my guess was right or not. So if I start with the 2 heads, I think I'm gonna have less selection because I started with 2 branch, not 3. Alright, so help me with this tree diagram. Where should I draw it? I'm gonna start over here. 1, 2, head number 1, head number 2, I'm gonna change my color. I'm gonna do the legs because I like to follow the order. And lastly, 2 for each. And I'm gonna count how many end resort are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I got 12. That's interesting. So wherever I start, I end up with 12 selections. That's interesting. Okay. And it's now time for the B. How many combinations are possible in the whole game? Justify your answer with the tree sketch. That will be a lot of work. Oh, Randy suggests that 2 times 3 times 2 is the same as 3 times 2 times 2. Can you connect those operations with the tree diagram? Anyone? Multiplication property? I like it. But how do I know to multiply it if I have a tree diagram?
I can explain Randy's like annotations. I know, so for each category, so you start off in the first one, so there's like 2 heads, and then from there you break off to how many leg options you have. So you have 3 for that section, and then you move on to the next section, which is the 2 tails. So then you basically multiply all the numbers in each section.
Oh, so every step, every color of the branch, I know that like how many branches I have, and I'm gonna multiply all together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know the trick now. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad to draw the tree diagram for um, the question number B. You know what? I'm just gonna save this annotation one. I like this. Cool. Okay, I'm just gonna clear it, and I'm gonna share on whiteboard so we can all draw. Share whiteboard. I don't see it. There we go. All right, here's a whiteboard. Am I still sharing it?
I don't know if it's just me. Oh, but it looked like just like a little sliver.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a very skinny whiteboard, Melissa.
That's not fun. I don't like that. Okay. There?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Anyone remember how many heads, tails, and legs we had?
On the chat.
There's
We
Are
can check
28
the
heads.
chat. So we had 28 heads, 24 legs, and 25 tails. Okay, let's draw the tree diagram. Evelyn, can you start the tree diagram again?
Yes, sorry. I'm like struggling over here. Okay. Am I how am I gonna fit 28 heads?
That's hard, right? Do we
Yeah.
have any tricks or any shortcuts that we can do? Anyone have any idea?
can we do like 4 sets of 7 heads?
Ooh, that's crazy, but yes, I like it.
Or 7 sets of 4 heads, so it's less shorter, maybe?
But we're gonna mess up with the number of the branch then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm. But we had some tips with the tree diagram last time when we drew it, right?
I actually wasn't there, remember, Jin?
Uh-huh. But I'm asking all others.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No worries. Do anyone remember it?
What was the question again? Sorry.
Okay, I'll try to draw 28 lines first.
Okay.
Let's try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. How do you think about it?
That's too hard.
That's a lot.
All I
Okay.
can say is oy vey.
Now it looks like a broom, like, I don't know.
Look like a firework.
Firework. I like that. That's better. Okay. But I'm just still gonna keep working with it because that's what I know how to do the tree diagram. But instead, I'm just gonna work with just one branch because it's painful to do all the branches in one whiteboard, like 25 more. So I'm gonna try to draw another 25 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more branches. How do you think about it? So this is here.
I think it's definitely better than drawing it on every single branch.
But I know that every single branch on here, we're gonna have 25 branches each. Okay, just keep that in mind. And I'm gonna draw 24 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 24 is over here. So to count up how many combination we have is counting the end of the each branch, right? So there's 24 of purple line, and we have 24 in each orange line, which is 25, and we have that orange line on the end of the green line, which is 28. And I'm gonna ask Randy to share her way. So I was gonna say like, just think that there's 24 for each of the 25 branches, and that goes onto the green line also. So I have to multiply all three of them. All right, I'm gonna stop share.
Can I share
Yes, please.
what Andres did in terms of making the branches?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so I think it's a little bit simpler for you guys. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you notice how he did the 28? It's just much simpler than trying to do 28 coming out of one point. What are your thoughts? Can you see it? Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I think that's just a little bit like simpler. And then you really don't even have to do like the 28 lines. You can just start. So I liked how he did that. I'll stop. It's in the solutions. But
And
that
I
was
also like that there's a number on it, so we can apply our strategy that we had, which is this. We count up the branches, and then we just multiplied it.
now, Jen, once we do that, now we can go back to the question we asked them before in the survey and make a little contest. Who was closest?
So that was this. How many? What was the closest number of the animal combination in ZoomX?
So it's kind of interesting because which one did you guys pick? Did anybody pick the closest with people in Santa Ana? What did you pick? Tell me.
I picked that one.
Okay. And
I thought this one, the animals in the safari park, because it was related to the animals, so it might be. That was my logic.
Same.
so now what's cool? Which is closest? Which one? Now the kids have to do a little mental math.
I think it's also good to explain what the K's mean because I'm not sure if everyone will know what that means.
Oh, right.
Excellent, excellent, Melissa. Yes, excellent.
So it'll be like, oh, the K's for like thousands, so 18,000, 93,000, etc.
Yes, us mathematicians forget these little details, right?
So K means thousands. So if I see 3K, that means 3,000. Okay. Now, which is the closest? Melissa called the people in the Hollywood Bowl is the closest to the 16,800. Do we agree on that? Sounds good? All right, cool. I'm gonna move on to the next part, which is deeper questions. Now we are expanding that knowledge of multiplying each steps in the branch with the deeper questions. So do we have time for this? We have 3 more minutes, so
You know, to tell you the truth, if the kids got through all of this, that would be very positive.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, but be sure when you're doing your time management, look at everything because you might find that, you know, maybe, oh, part 2, that's really interesting. So I'll shorten part 1. So, you know, you guys get to do your own time management, which is kind of cool.
And you might want to say like, oh, this question, I think your mentees are gonna like it, or you think your mentees gonna like to mess up with that animal combination thing. So it's up to you. You know your students better than me. So whatever they like, whatever you like to do with them, go ahead, expand it, and whatever you think that's important, go for it. And this one actually have the solution video for it. So hope that helps. And if there's something else that you wanna ask about, just like me or Andres or anyone, so we can discuss it later also. Any specific question you have for next week's teaching manual?
I actually have one
Mm-hmm.
for part F. Will it be too hard or like for like the kids? I don't know.
So right now we want to add a new option to animal part, looking to generate a total of 30,000 combinations. What should we do? Explain your answer.
Yes, David, it will be very challenging.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you that if you went up to part F, that means that you blazed through all the parts.
Yeah, that's true. That's
That
true.
means-
Yeah.
That means they might be some students who can handle this logical question. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, right? Because the part A and B actually took a lot for us to explain it to.
Mhm. That's true. Thank
But
you.
still
Thank you.
prepare for it. Any other thoughts or comments before
One thing I would
we-
mention, if you do part F, do a little table.
table?
Make it a table. So then they could see heads, tails, legs equals, blah, blah, the amount, and then just alternate one number and see what happens. But
Oh, so not the table for the total combination, but like see the chart for like what happens if I have this much of leg, this much of head, and this much of the tail,
so you
and
would
what's
have
the total of it?
you would have 4 columns.
Okay.
Oh, I
okay,
see.
I like that.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
how I learned it.
No, yeah, that would be the easiest way for them to analyze it. But if you get there, hooray. But the kids really want to have fun making their own animals.
Mhm. Is there any fun tips for that animal contest? If anyone have any idea, because it's kind of hard to share the screen for them. How would you make them share their creature?
I was thinking we could do like a Jamboard and have everyone screenshot it and put it on the Jamboard so that way you can just, whoever's showing the screen can go through that Jamboard and showcase everyone's creation, essentially.
I like it, but you might want to Google how to do the screenshot on the Chromebook, maybe. So you can tell the
Yeah.
students, like, this is how you do the screenshot and this is how you can upload it.
You could also do or ask them like in the order of like head, leg, tail, and then put it on the chat, and then one person can share the screen and just do
Mm-hmm.
them. Yeah.
That will take more time, but I think that's an ideal way to do it also, including the Jamboard part. And I am looking forward to have a lot of crazy creatures on Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm gonna jump in the rooms and see if you have one too, Melissa, David, Arturo, and Evelyn. I'm gonna call on you, like, hey, I like your creature. All right, then I will see you next week. Thank you for coming in. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Have a good 3
Everyone.
days. Now you can go take a nap since you got up so early. You
I
need your
know.
guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye bye.